Hello and welcome to the GameShop MythCast, episode number 24. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Vocterain, the official broadcaster for Mythology GameShop. In today's replay, we are once again looking at the replays of our Terran player, Nathan. He's going to be in the red, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Neoplanet S. Opposite him, we have our Barcode Protoss, which means, of course, we get to give him a name. Now, previously, we've given them names like Sparkles, we've given them names like Cody, but I'm thinking now that we should name this guy RandySavage. So it's going to be Nathan versus RandySavage at this point. I just want to do that for two reasons. One, because I love RandySavage, and two, just because it's going to be really funny to put in the title NathanGS versus RandySavage. If I remember to do it when I actually get around to uploading this and don't just write a barcode in it. But nonetheless, 2 days ago, for you, of course, it's like half an hour ago for me, because I'm awesome and I get to record these all in one day, and you guys have to wait for them. But 2 days ago, we saw Nathan do a TVP in which he did a terrible drop, and then another terrible drop, and then dropped Hellbats and won everything ever. So, will we see the same again from him today? If we do, well, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, because who needs those first two terrible drops when you can just drop Hellbats and win the game? Now, again, it looks like he wants to go for his Reaper expand opening. His opponent with only the one gas at this point, not going for any kind of Stargate early trickery or a 2-gate pressure. Looks like also going for the 1-gate expand, which means, of course, that not a great deal going to be going on from now on. The probe is forced out of the base. Now, of course, the SUV is still in here. Getting to see all these timings. Going to go check the expansion now from the looks of it. I was actually going to escape. I don't like that. I think he had a lot of time to continue being around and in that base, if I'm completely honest. I know the Reaper's on the way, but still, that's the choice of Nathan, and this is his game, I guess. He can do what he likes, you know. Sure, he's masters and better than me and all that other stuff, but feel like he could have done a bit more with that. Admittedly, there's not a great deal more to see, but he would have seen this extra gas timing, which he now, of course, is not aware of. This is not a 1-gate expand. He has gone double gas, which means we should see tech coming down very, very shortly for the Protoss. Now, he has gone for a sentry, which is not the most useful of opening units when your opponent's getting a Reaper out, because you can force field this ramp and then he jumps up here, because Reapers are in fact a huge pain in the arse. The question is, what tech will we see from this Protoss opponent? Are we talking DTs? Are we talking Stargate? So, now, good catch by the sentry. The Reaper is forced out. He's not going to rush in there. However, this Reaper should be aware that there is no expansion up. And because of that, he's got to start wondering, well, what's going on in the main? What am I not seeing? In response, well, we can see Nathan's doing his normal tech path anyway. He's going to get a factory. He's going to get a starport. Then he's going to get the additional gas. Oh, and the expansion has gone down. I wonder if that's a fake. Nice use again by RandySavage here, forcing this Reaper away. I really wonder if this is intentional, because he took those two gas very, very quickly. And we are going to see a Robogun. Okay. So just a delayed expansion. I'm not sure I like that, to be honest. I feel like maybe he was going a different way until he saw the Reaper. But we really will not know. There is no way for us to talk to RandySavage on account of him, unfortunately, being very sadly deceased. And even if, you know, we could talk to him and ask him what he was doing, no one would ever actually understand him, because, well, he sounds like RandySavage. So throwing down some more gates behind this as well. 3-gate robo. It's kind of like doing the 3-gate robo expand the wrong way round, or like in a very strange way. Nice work from Nathan here with this Reaper again. Just going to make sure that this base is actually still up, making sure he's not being faked out. But Nathan's going to be in a good position from here on out to do the kind of please close, to do the kind of builds that he likes to do. As we see, very well predicted by me, it is that factory into Starport. He will start to add more gas soon. He has the Widow Mines coming out. Once the first medevac is out, he will push across the map, probably to around here, and then try and drop up into the main and maybe push the front At the same time, Mothership Core is going to have Photon Overcharge. And he will have an Observer to help deal with these Widow Mines. Now, of course, 2 days ago, what we saw was that cannons in the mineral line were very, very helpful for dealing with it. And look at this, Nathan with the exact same push. This is my one worry with Nathan, is he's a very predictable player sometimes. You can look at him and say, yes, this is his TVP build. And if he intends to make a real push in the future, nice hallucinated Oracle, by the way. Given his opponent doesn't know, given Nathan does not know what's coming at him, hallucinating an Oracle is a great idea. But if Nathan intends to truly push on and into the realms of pro gaming, you're going to have to be a lot more adaptable than this. Now, he's only taking one Widow Mine up and into the main, seeing what he can do. He wants to leave the majority of his army here. However, because it will be left here without a medevac. Now, right now, there's nothing really here to deal damage to it. We do have a Mothership Core out. And the Widow Mine is going to come over here and burrow. Good Photon Overcharge. It may not get time to burrow, and it will not, in fact. So, good shout by the Protoss there, but that means that Photon Overcharge is used, and he does not have a second one. All he has is a Time Warp, and he's going to lose a lot of sentries here. Even if he doesn't end up getting the kill, he's going to have to retreat up this ramp. And oh my word, does he ever need to force field. Well, that is not the best force field ever. It looks like it will be enough with the Immortal coming out to add some additional backbone to this army. However, he has trapped his own army up in there. The force field now gone, and Nathan does not have enough to push into this. So another nice attempt, but really not getting more than a few sentry snipes, which is good for him. Puts RandySavage in a slightly worse position than he was in, but nowhere near what Nathan would have been hoping to achieve. Now he's going to come up here, check for a third base, take this pylon down, because, well, why not? And then he could have potentially dropped into the main, but wisely RandySavage has dropped this pylon here. If we take a quick peek back at Nathan's base, we can see, look at this, adding a lot more barracks production. I'd like to see him getting those 2 E-bays down again very shortly. They are not up at this point. He's focusing on expanding, and he's going to try the drop anyway, despite this pylon being here to spot it. Now, once again, RandySavage is out of position. He does have the Photon Overcharge, though, so at the very least, he will be able to take on this pylon. But look at this. That is some sick range there. So picks up, gets out. No, we can continue to attack into it, but nice work forcing at least a Photon Overcharge, losing one Marine to pick off that pylon. But if a pylon does not get put there again, he'll be able to use that as a potential dropping route in the future. 2 Immortals out now, a Warp Prism on the way. Interesting, so it looks like some potential for some counter harass coming out of RandySavage. Now you'll note, no Forges out for him either, so these double eBays will start to give Nathan the upgrade lead in the future, but that's still a while away, and Nathan has to be careful not to get caught here. 1 sentry, in fact not even a sentry falls. Nathan just has to pick up and get the hell out of there. That self-contained completely broken as he takes his third, however, so Nathan's still pretty happy with this. However, he is going to have to defend from this coming push. And this is a pretty sexy push. Oh, what a perfect scan timing, though. Sees the full army with the Warp Prism. As it walks out, Nathan knows time to get out of there. With these pylons going down, picks up immediately, knows the army's coming, knows there's no point trying to hold it. He just needs to hold this and make sure he can stay in this game. So, here comes the army of RandySavage. We've got 3 bunkers down now. We've got medevacs, we've got Widow Mines. Truly, Nathan should be in a good position to hold this off. There is that supply advantage. Pretty much all of it is workers, though. We do have a Dark Shrine following this up. So, always the potential for some Warp Prism-based shenanigans in the future, with that Warp Prism hanging over there. Of course, the Command Center is there as well, but it looks like it's time for a big old push. 1 bunker falls. SCV's not there to repair it. 2nd bunker will fall. And now a stim, but those force fields zoning the army of Nathan very, very effectively. RandySavage pushing in incredibly well here, and it seems like this is a good plan against Nathan. When his first drop fails, don't wait for him to drop you again. Go and see if you can kill him. Well, it looks like one Immortal is getting very close to falling. The other, though, still full health. There's a lot of Stalkers not engaging in this fight, however. He needs to move in to attack more effectively. This is starting to get problematic for RandySavage as he loses his 2nd Immortal. So now he's fighting with just Stalkers. Widow Mines doing their job. A lot of SCVs being pulled, though. That is a lot of supply in Stalkers there compared to not very much in the way of army. For Nathan, he's losing a lot of SCVs in this attack. And we've got DTs there as well. I don't know as Nathan can hold this. He needs to get a very good scan down. He needs to get it down as soon as possible. There goes the scan. He needs to pick up all these DTs and he needs to pick them up right now. Excuse me. We do have more scans available for him in the future. However, his opponent very much has the upper hand at this point. He has a supply lead. He has the worker lead. And he's still got those DTs. DT's now being shot down, being morphed into an Archon to try and hold. As we can see, RandySavage has killed 29 SCVs. He's still committing to this push, however, which I don't know as if that was the best idea, but he's still making it work. Fair play to him. Still pushing through here. Of course, if we take a look, +1 attack, very nearly done. Along with the +1 armor. Once that finishes, Nathan will be able to hold this better, and he still has that third base available. So with that landing, he'll have a lot more scans to deal with DTs. But there's still the potential for that Warp Prism in the future to continue to attack. Again, RandySavage trying to push in here. Nathan with a supply lead, trying to hold this off, and with 1-1 done, he will find himself more and more effective at this point. This now would be a very good time for RandySavage to back off, to throw down a third base. And maybe just try and keep a contain up at the third. I think that would be the best for him. It looks to me like he wants to continue this attack though, and it's getting less and less cost effective as time goes on. As you can see, he's not taking up at home. He's got nothing building beyond these stalkers. He's building up an awful lot of minerals, and in fact, he just GG's. He's got no army left. So honestly, a really strong initial push, countered by the fact that he committed to it and treated it like an all-in, when as we can see, he still had a worker lead. All he had to do was take that army, go home, put a third base down. Nathan, though, with that 1-1 and a very, very clutch hold, at the end of the day, takes another game, but proving again that his initial drops are awful. I've yet to see an initial drop of his do damage. Anyway, that's it with the GameShop MythCast, and enough of teasing Nathan. I'll be back tomorrow with yet more StarCraft 2 replays. Thank you very much for watching.